Hello everyone and welcome to this first video of the series. And to kick things off slowly or a little bit easier, Paul and I decided to start the first video taking smartphone photos, so smartphone photography. And it's a Friday afternoon right now. My son is a little bit sick at home, my 2-year-old son, so I just decided to wander off just outside of the house and go for a few snaps here in this area. And as you can see, it's a misty day, so that makes for kind of interesting conditions. And I see a shot in front of me here already, so let's get into that. But before we do that, I want to tell you that this is by no means a video like this is not going to be a tutorial. I am not going to tell you what app to use, what setting is best for this and that. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube and a lot of YouTubers / photographers that are doing brilliant tutorials. No, this series is purely for entertainment and showing you guys how I do things. So there might be some, how do you say this, like tips and tricks elements in there every now and then, but this is not meant to be a tutorial. This is me taking you along for the ride as I go out and do these challenges, the same ones that Paul is doing as well. And I've seen that he's been out already at the moment that I'm filming this. Paul has been going outside already. He's shown me a few screenshots of his upcoming video. I'm excited, but let's get the first shot going. So for the first shot we're going for this obvious and simple composition. There's no question what I'm going to shoot. This tree right here is nice with the foggy background, so there's some separation from it. And yeah, this is going to be the camera for this video, my iPhone. As you can see, I have the grid turned on so I can line up my composition quite nicely. And if I'm happy with the composition, you just click it. And this, yeah, hello to you too. And this would be the first shot of the video. So for this next shot, it's going to be quite an easy one as well. There's this birch tree across from the water here, and I'm gonna place it in the center of the image. It gives me a little bit of a reflection of the tree into the murky and brown water these days. The water is quite high in this small creek. And yeah, basically there's nothing much to it. Just, you know, shooting some snaps at home using my phone. And I have my phone on the tripod right here because that way you can still kind of be a little bit more serious with your compositions, and you can set up nicely and frame. At least for me, that helps to determine the spot you're going to shoot from and set up your camera like this. And yeah, today it's going to be the iPhone then, but let's go ahead and take the photo. So as you can see right here, I'm shooting these photos in RAW. I'm shooting with an iPhone 12 Pro, and it has the ability to shoot in RAW, which gives you a little bit more room in post-production in Lightroom, which I will put these photographs in. And yeah, so let's see for composition. This is quite simple one. We can maybe turn it around like this to get a different shot, but I think the straightforward composition will work. And now the iPhone has 3 lenses available. I'm not going to go into detail about what every lens does because this is not an iPhone review or a lens review or whatever, but there's a 0.5 wide angle lens that shows you more of the scene basically as a wide angle does. Then there's the 1x zoom, which is your regular lens, and then there's a tele lens which has a 2x zoom. Short little tip then, let's put it in there. The 1x zoom, so the regular lens, has the best quality because it has the lowest aperture, lets in the most light, and the wide angle and the tele lens are a little bit, you have to be a little bit careful with them in low light conditions. But let's frame this shot a little bit like this, so we get a little bit more reflections, and then that right there is another shot. Yeah, let's keep on walking and see what else we can find. So basically 10 or 15 meters further up, there's this nice tree hanging over the water a little bit and also giving a reflection. And for this shot I'm going to shoot a vertical to kind of emphasize the shape and look of the tree. You know, I'm gonna do this shot handheld. That's the beauty of a phone, of course. As I was talking about before, using the tripod is nice to frame your composition and everything, but the flexibility of having a device like this in your hand, shooting handheld, is what we are all doing for our snapshots. So that's what I'm gonna do now as well. Yeah, and I think for this shot the wide angle lens works pretty good, because here you can see that a lot of the tree is in frame, but now there's much more in there and shows a bit more of the water in the foreground and the tree tops, which I like for this particular composition. So there we have it. Now let's see how the 2x looks. Maybe get a detail shot of the water in the foreground. We can do that. Yeah, maybe I can get a cool detail shot. There's some water drops here on this plant, grass, reed, whatever. Using the 2x zoom now on the phone to try and get some sort of detail shot here. Maybe a vertical one as well. And try a 1x zoom and get a bit closer. Oh, that's kind of cool. And this right here is another spot where the 2x zoom works really well. Just getting that tree over there in the distance as your center point, basically, of your composition. Frame it up and snap it. You see with the 0.5, the wide angle, the tree disappears in the distance, kind of. So here the 2x zoom really works pretty good on the iPhone. I did step away from the river for a bit now to get this very classic Dutch landscape, just fields and some mud. And let's frame this up. And for this shot I will actually use the wide angle because I really like this line here and the trees over there, because with the 1x you will be able to get, well, actually I'll take it like this, It's not too bad. Compresses the scene a bit more, but still has both the elements in there that I want, which is the trees and the dirt here, the mud. Shooting in RAW, take a photo, and that's it basically. This is shooting with your iPhone. Why not shoot these trees out there like this? You know, tap the screen to focus and snap away. Horizontal maybe. Let's see. What if we use the wide angle? No, that's a bit too wide. Yeah, this is pretty nice. I like these conditions where there's lots of nothing going on, and then there's one obvious and clear subject in the middle. So as you can see, I'm not photographing any grand vistas or majestic landscapes. Basically some mud in the field here, right outside the house. But I think it doesn't matter all the time. You know, like all of us, if not most of us, at least have a phone available to us, and mobile photography, smartphone photography has become immensely popular over the past years. These incredible phones are getting better and better. My phone, for example, has 3 lenses on here, as I talked about earlier, which gives you plenty of tools to work with to take snapshots, but also like play around with some more serious photography, more than ever at least, on your smartphone with these cameras now shooting in RAW. And video capabilities of these phones is crazy these days as well. 4K video, slow motion stuff, and the quality is just, you know, I think there's still a market obviously for professional cameras like the mirrorless systems, full frame cameras, DSLRs and all that medium format stuff. Obviously if you're going to pixel peep, a phone is still gonna be a bit worse than that, but for run and gun kind of situations, and for those of you that are not too serious about their photography but still want to have fun taking photos, I recommend just go out with your phone and shoot a muddy field, take some snapshots, throw them into Lightroom or your preferred editing software if you like to edit. Sometimes you don't even need to, and challenge yourself. Basically the same thing that I'm doing. Just go out with your phone alone, and you know, make an agreement with yourself that today I'm only going to take photographs with my smartphone, and show them to us. Let us know in the comments below if you have posted them, and a link to your gallery or whatever, wherever you are showcasing them. I would like to see them for one. And yeah, I think I'll head back to the car right now. See how my son is doing, and maybe there's a few extra shots on the way back to the car. Yeah, and why not have one funny photo in there? Something like this, a reflection in a puddle of mud. You know, photography is all about fun, and this challenge should be all about fun as well. So, you know, there could be some of those quirky, crazy, funny photos inside of this series. And let's take the first one right now. Yeah, and as you can see, we have quite some beaver activity in the region here. Every now and then you can actually hear a tree go down and blocking the stream. And since we're filming this right now, let me take a photo of this. Why not? That's a donkey. Alright, final shot of the day. Let's take a person in landscape kind of selfie. So I'm going to use the self timer here. 10 seconds, and I'm just gonna walk out to this point right there. This is not the most interesting composition or spot or whatever, but just for the sake of this video, using my phone for a landscape selfie basically. So 10-second timer, and as soon as I press it I will walk in frame, take a photo, and yeah, let's go. So I'll run. Yeah, that should be it. Not sure if I quite made it. But anyways, another fun thing to do with your phone, these timed landscape selfies. Give it a try. Yeah, I'm almost back by the car, but I just cannot resist shooting this birch tree right here. There's something about birch trees that I just really like, especially with this type of reeds in front of it, this high grass or reeds or however you call it, and some water in the foreground, so there's going to be an extra snap. So thank you all very much for watching this first episode of this series, the photography challenge with Paul and myself. And with that, I'd like to say thank you once again, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. In the comments down below, let us know what you think of it. Have a nice day. Bye.